Hey, what's up, guys? Um, I want to talk about this Barrios Akhmedov fight. I have paused the TV. The Benavidez, the real fight is going on as I'm doing this video. But I needed to talk about this while it's on my mind. Listen, I had no idea who these guys were. I was not interested in this fight. This was not on the radar. This was just kind of a filler fight for me on the pay-per-view. When they were introducing the guys, I saw that Akhmedov was 7-0 with 6 KOs, and I kind of laughed like this guy was only 7 fights getting a world title shot. And but then I thought about it and I was like, you know what? Wouldn't it be kind of cool to see a guy who was 7-0 win a world title? He was the smaller guy, he was a foreign guy, and I'm pretty sure he was underdog in this fight. Barrios was the taller guy. He had more experience, a bigger record, and I'm pretty sure he's probably the guy that PBC is backing. All right. So the beginning of the fight, I really was not paying attention. Had really no interest in the fight. Like I said, I was doing other things. Then Barrios gets a knockdown on Akhmedov, makes him do a two-hand touch on the canvas. All right. So then that became a 10-8 round. And that was the fourth round. All right. After that round, this guy Akhmedov was putting on Barrios, man. I mean, he was beating this guy up, man. He was walking this guy down, throwing nonstop. It was like this guy got knocked down and woke up. It was like an alarm clock went off and this guy started fighting, man. He came, he was putting the pressure on Barrios. Barrios had no answer for this guy. He was getting hit. Um, he got exposed, man. He cannot deal with a guy walking him down with a lot of punches, with pressure. He had no answers for it. And I literally was sitting here getting concerned about the guy. Uh, After the ninth round, when he went back to his corner for a tent, I'm looking at his face and the way he was walking. I'm like, man, maybe I was thinking about stopping this fight, you know. And I'm thinking, like, as the fight is going on, I'm thinking, man, they should have stopped this. They should have stopped it. At the end of the fight, the guy's face is swollen. He's clearly been beaten up. You know, man. Uh, he got dominated, man, from the fifth round all the way up until the end of the fight when Akhmedov, he just had it's kind of a lapse moment. He wasn't protected. He was gonna come in with more pressure. He got time. He got hit, and then he ended up touching the canvas again, with his hands, which at that point would give Barrios a 10-8 round with like 14 seconds left. At the end of the fight, he messed up. All right. So then the 14 seconds passed, the fight's over. All right. Marcos Villegas, he scored the fight a draw. I think it was 113, 113 on his card. The two knockdowns saved Barrios. The knockdown in the last round definitely saved him from losing on Marcos' scorecard. All right, so I can pretty much agree with Marcos' scorecard. I feel bad for Akhmedov because I thought he won the fight. I thought he had dominated the fight, from the fifth round all the way up till near the end, and it was suck for him to not get the victory because of what happened at the end and because of the previous knockdown. But I think the draw was the right call. Either that or an Akhmedov win. There's no way in hell Barrios won this fight. I no way I could see a judge scoring him this fight and winning this fight, man. The guy got walked down and out punched and out landed from the fifth round on, you know. And at the end of the fight, when Jimmy Lennon says we have a unanimous decision, I'm like, what? I'm like, oh, here we go. I just had a feeling that this shit was gonna happen, and the scores were terrible, man. Were absolutely terrible. I think a 114, 112. It might have been like a 116 something, and then a 118 or something. It was crazy, man. They had Barrios winning this fight wide, man. There's no way in hell He might have won the first 4 rounds and then the last round, but from the fifth through the 11th, he got dominated, man, to the point to where I think they should have thought about stopping the fight, because of long-term concerns over the guy's health. But seeing the decision and what happened, hell, it feels and smells of PBC corruption. Maybe they had a feeling that hell, all he had to do was make it to the scorecards and he would win the fight. I'm thinking to myself, why are doctors not coming in to stop this fight? Or why Virgil Hunter's not threatening to stop the fight or throwing in a towel? You know, when Adonis Stevenson fought Fonfara the second time, boy, Virgil Hunter threw that towel in quick, didn't he? He threw the towel in pretty quick. And tonight, he just let this kid take a beat down, man. This guy's career might not be the same. Barrios took a lot of punishment, man, and he just may not be the same. The way it was looking, I'm like, man, shit, long term, if this guy ends up in the hospital or some shit, man, it'll be terrible, man. And they should have regrets of not stopping the fight. So, this kind of ruined my mood for the night, man. This guy Akhmedov fought his ass off. Joel Diaz, his corner was all hype for the guy. Rooting him on. After the 10th round, tell him to give him 2 more rounds. That guy fought his heart out, man. I mean, he fought his ass off, coming forward non-stop, throwing punches on Barrios. He put it on Barrios, man, beat him up. If he didn't win the fight, it was a draw. Draw or Akhmedov win. But I can agree with Marcos's scorecard. Now again, I didn't really pay attention to the first couple rounds. And he gave the first 3 rounds to Barrios, and then of course the fourth was a 10-8 for Barrios. But those wide scores at the end of that fight for Barrios, that's bullshit, man. I don't know what them guys were looking at. That is that smells of corruption and highway robbery, man. Like they had their scorecards filled out before the fight even started, man. And it's terrible. That's terrible. I feel bad for Akhmedov. So that's it, guys. Let me know what you think. And you saw how quickly they moved on from the shit. It wasn't no big outrage from the announcers. Lance was like, well, it's like I wouldn't have been surprised if it was a draw. I'd been okay with a draw or something like that, But they didn't speak up and say that it was a robbery. They didn't scream about what a bad job the judges did. They just swept that shit up under the rug and quickly moved on, man. That's PBC for you, man. Sad. So that's it, guys. This is one of the reasons why I just don't want to support them. Don't want to pay for their pay-per-views. Hell, even watch their events, man. These scorecards, these crazy things happening, it's terrible, man. So, let me know what you guys think, and I'll check in soon. Thanks for watching.